All right, it's here. December 2020, the final lap of the year. It's almost over. New Year is almost upon us. Are you guys looking forward to the end of this year as I am?
I'm looking forward to when the aliens show up because, hey, evidently they exist if you are to believe the most recent news. So, hey, why not?
But here we are, the final lap of 2020 and our final episode of this year. Hello, all you listeners. Welcome to Nerd to the Third Power, your one-stop shop for all things nerdy and awesome. I'm your host and master of ceremonies and full of the holiday spirit, Dr. Gonzo. And with me, as always, this epic quest of awesomeness is our resident anime goddess, the Cat. Cat, how are you doing?
Holly? Dare I say, jolly? Trying to get into the Christmas spirit. I've been decorating my apartment. I've been slowly thinking about how there's literally nothing I can buy my parents for Christmas that they can't get for themselves. So having that yearly deterioration of my mental health of Anyway, I'm great.
All right, and Mike, how are you doing as we approach the terminus of this hellscape of a year?
Well, I decided to make a gingerbread house with my wife and my next door neighbor, my best friend / brother, and we somehow turned a simple gingerbread house into a house of horrors. So much so, we piled bodies on the roof, which are made out of Sour Patch Kids, and spelled the word fart on it out of Reese's Pieces, and used the T as an inverted cross, which is metal as fuck. It's a house of horrors.
So is that why you wanted the pictures from my high school graduation party? Okay, all right.
Yes.
Reference material.
Yeah, all of that seems to check out. Yep, that's very you.
But yes, we are here now at the last episode of Nerd to the Third Power of 2020. Not the last episode of anything that's going to be put out, because starting the Tuesday after Christmas, we are going to be putting out on a weekly basis the rest of Fools Who Ride. So we'll have something there to keep you guys entertained until we come back from break. So yeah, look forward to that. And for our final recording of this year, we thought that we would do something light and easy and fun. And Kat suggested that we pitch our own Hallmark Christmas movie. So she will tell us later where that idea came from. So, but of course, there is procedure to follow. So we are going to begin, as always, with Ask a Geek. And we got some questions here. First one here comes from, let's see, this one comes from Sarah. And she's got two questions. The first one is to me and Mike, and that is, what games are you most looking forward to in 2021? So, Mike, let's start with you. What release are you most looking forward to in 2021?
I keep hitting the refresh button for Persona 5 Strikers, but it doesn't want to let me pre-order. That one, undoubtedly that one. I am probably one of like 5 people looking forward to Halo Infinite at this point, which, as of this recording, breaking news for this show. It's been delayed till fall 2021. Not a surprise there. Yeah, that's pretty much, those are only the 2. There's that Dragon game, or no, it's that Monster World game, I think it is.
Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, the one where it's more like an RPG looks really interesting to me. Not the one where you're beating the crap out of monsters, but the other side story looks really interesting. So those are the 3 I'm looking forward to right now.
Monster Hunter Rise.
Maybe that's it.
Because there's a couple of Monster Hunter games coming out next year.
And then in January, because it's so close, January 14th, I can smell it, I can taste it, I'm ready to mash out in 8-bit Scott Pilgrim versus the World Complete Edition. So excited for that, because I'm going to stream the shit out of that. It's going to be great.
I'm picking that one up just to see what all the fuss is about, because for those of you who remember when the Scott Pilgrim movie came out, and subsequently the licensed game tie-in, in those heady times, that time of plenty that we so foolishly squandered, I did not give a damn about Scott Pilgrim, and I did not see what the big deal about it was. So I missed out on it when it first came out. So I'm going to pick this one up just to see what all the fuss is about, because, like, I don't know. It's like, you ever see something that's just super popular, but you, for whatever reason, just don't get it? That's me and Scott Pilgrim. I just don't get the why people go to bat so hard for that.
I like the game more than I like the movie because I lived with a roommate who was an extra in that movie, and oh my god, he wouldn't shut the fuck up about it for like 6 months. But
maybe it's because I've never read the original comics. Like, I only ever saw the movie, and I thought that it was kind of dumb. Like, maybe there's something in the comics that didn't translate well to screen.
The books are good. The movie's a little bit better, I would argue, but they're both their own things. But the game is wonderful, mostly for the soundtrack for me, because Anna Managuchi did it, and they are friggin' fantastic. Like, the soundtrack to that game is great. Like, you can listen to it on Spotify, and it's so worth it. So check it out, dude. Trust me, you will not be sorry.
Okay. Well, as for me, game releases that I'm most looking forward to in 2021, I'm gonna echo your sentiments. Persona 5 Strikers, looking forward to that. And the reason why you are not able to pre-order is because as you record this, it is the 8th, and pre-orders aren't opening up until the 10th. So you're a couple days early there, buddy.
Cool.
You're doing the digital equivalent of lining up in front of a theater 6 months ahead of time for Star Wars.
Yeah, I've done that for like every game.
Which I would tell you is completely pointless, but then, we just had those 2 console launches, so, see how that went. So yeah, Persona 5 Strikers I'm really looking forward to. And let's see, I know that it's coming out this month, but I'm gonna say in 2021 because I'm not gonna be able to pick it up and play it until 2021. But Cyberpunk, I'm really looking forward to that. It's just gonna be a while before I can get to it. Because Christmas shopping is taking all of my money right now. Christmas shopping and like a dozen and a half pre-orders that I put in for various collector's editions. I finally sat down and counted out all the collector's edition pre-orders that I have still coming to me that I've placed pre-orders on over this year. You want to know what the final total is?
What?
21.
You placed 21 pre-orders?
21 pre-orders for 21 different collector's editions of various games. I'm basically bending over for limited run games right now.
Good lord, boy.
Yeah, and it's like, because I keep putting out stuff I want. It's like just today I was like, okay, I'm looking through this. There's like, okay, great. There's nothing coming out that I absolutely have to have in my collection. I can rest. My wallet can heal. Limited run games comes out. We're putting out a Hyper Light Drifter collector's edition. Fuck. Okay, so so Persona 5 Strikers, and that's really kind of all that I can think of that I know is coming out in 2021 that I'm absolutely looking forward to. I don't think Nintendo's made any announcements for 2021 releases that I recall off the top of my head.
There's that Super Mario 3D World port with Bowser's Fury.
Oh yeah, that. Well, I played that on the 3DS back in the day. So while I am excited for that, it's not like a super new thing that I'm like really chomping at the bit for. So there's that. And her second question is to you, Kat, and that's: are there any upcoming anime or manga releases in 2021 that you're really looking forward to?
Let's just break the dam on this. The final season of Attack on Titan is coming out now. Have I watched the last 2 seasons? No, I have not. Do I desperately need to catch up so I can watch the final season? Yes, I do. I'm very behind, and I need to finish it. I need to know how this ends. So that's the only thing that I'm really interested in right now, and it's because that like the new season starts in December, so by the time you hear this, there'll probably already be an episode 2 out, maybe more. But it should run into next year, and then I've already heard rumors that they're not even going to finish all of the contents of the manga in the next season, that they're going to cap it off with a film or something. So there's a lot of Attack on Titan that I need to catch up on and then finish. But that's kind of what I'm in for next year. I know it's really sad, but I have not been keeping up with anything right now. So there's a lot of stuff from 2020 that I've been neglecting that I need to watch. That I assume stuff like Fruits Basket the new Fruits Basket are still going on and will continue to go on into next year. So I can say like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to watch that. And we'll pretend like I've watched anime lately.
Wait, Fruits Basket is still going?
They made a new one.
2004? Oh, okay.
They made a new one. It looks really nice, but I haven't been watching it. It should be more accurate to the manga and more the length of what the manga was. And I think that it's not done and should be going into the new year. So, yeah, there's a lot I need to catch up on, guys. It's really sad.
Okay, alrighty. And let's see here. Another question here. Here's a fun one. Here's a question, Peter, and this one is addressed to me, although I'm also going to open up to you, Mike, because you've had to contend this too. He asks if I have any opinion on or comment on the Xbox Series S or PS5 scalpers. Yes, my opinion. Scalpers are dog rapists. End comment.
Well, I don't know if I'd call them dog rapists, because that word is loaded, but they're definitely scummy people. Although, that being said, there was a fabulous account from scalpers in the UK saying, like, we are doing this to put food on our family's table. Like, then...
There's a part 2 to that story.
Yeah, I know, and it's so fucking dumb. Like, you're not the good guys here. Like, you're not a pirate liberating booty to give to, like, the poor. No, it doesn't work like that, dickhead.
Did you hear that same group wound up getting like 1,000 of their pre-orders canceled by the retailer?
I know, and it was glorious.
Yeah.
It's pretty scummy. Although, one of the things that has happened here in Canada, especially with scalpers and resellers, is the Toronto police put out a special dispatch saying, if you are going to buy any of these game consoles, do so in a public place. Make sure you are vetting it as best you possibly can. People are being robbed of their consoles. They're being mugged, and there's been video of it. So be careful out there, people. Obviously, don't scalp if you... Don't be a fuckhead. Now, the most reasonable, and I do use that word in extreme quotation marks I've seen recently, somebody was selling an Xbox Series X close to me for about 850 Canadian. What I paid for mine was 733, so I paid 680 something for the 6 system, plus $50 for a protection plan just in case. And I feel pretty reasonable with that. $800 isn't terrible, but I've seen PlayStation 5s sell in my local area for $1,500. Holy shit.
I can't justify paying more than MSRP for any console. It just it irritates me.
Mario things.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Okay, there's a difference between buying a collectible that had a limited run and was specifically made to be a limited run and wound up becoming you're talking about the Mario Kart Live things.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Never mind. Well, here's the thing. I'm also not turning around and reselling those at
that's
$400 while they're still widely available. Because this is an argument that I had with a fuckhead at work who he was like, well, you collect video games and you spend multiple hundreds of dollars for a game, and it's like, yeah, we're not talking about something that is out of production or was made specifically as a limited run that is now a collectible. We're talking about people who are buying up all of these stocks of something that's supposed to be widely and artificially driving up demand. And because he's one of those like, well, if there was a better supply, there wouldn't be a demand. There is a supply. It's just there's these fuckheads buying up all these all the stocks so they can turn around and sell them for $1,500 or $2,500 as I've seen. So yeah, no, you talk about scalpers getting robbed in the street. I normally don't wish harm on any man, but like it's very hard for me to drum up any sympathy for them. So
yeah. I mean, obviously be careful if you are buying from a reseller. Do your research. Be safe. Don't buy if you can avoid it, because there are restocks coming from Best Buy and Walmart and GameStop and EB Games. It is possible. There's a Twitter account that I follow, and this is a hot tip that I use for anybody who's from Canada. He does have a US-based account as well, and his Twitter account is LBABINZ, and he posts up to the second stock releases of collector's editions, video games, deals on the eShop, everything. That's how I got my Xbox, was through this guy. And he serves the community. He's got this awesome dedicated subreddit. Gamers will help gamers in the right circumstances. We're not all shitty people, but resellers can, die in a fire because 99% of them are assholes. But yeah, like, don't be a scumbag, basically.
So yeah, no, but like, and the thing is, like, there's more stock coming. You know, it's not like it's not like Sony is going to put out more PS5s, you know, down the line. They are coming. So, you know, eventually this problem will sort itself out as more supply makes it out, as more consoles make it out onto the market. I think a lot of it is also that's contributing is the fact that, you know, these consoles launched during the holiday, because I don't remember there being nearly this much scalping with the Nintendo Switch when it first came out, and that came out in like March. So I think a lot of this that's contributing to this is because it's the holiday season and people are looking to get these consoles for like their kids or their significant others or something. But,
I think the worst scalping I ever saw on a Switch at the beginning of the pandemic was, in Canada, the Switch is about $400. I think the most I saw was $750, $800. That was the worst.
The scalping's awful now because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
it's awful now. So yeah, no, scalpers burn in hell, you sodomizers of dogs. But when it first came out, when it was first released, I don't remember there being like a whole lot of Switch scalping. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on to this question, because if I dwell on this subject any longer, then I'm gonna wind up getting this channel kicked. Let's just put it that way. All right, so let's see. Next question here. See if we got a happier one here. Let's see. Oh, here's a fun one. This one comes from Lawrence, and his question is for all of us. And it's, what is the Christmas present that you remember loving the most as a kid? So favorite Christmas present you ever got. So, Kat, let's start with you on this one.
Oh God, why did I have to go first? I can't remember anything. What have I gotten for Christmas?
Okay,
Oh,
Mike, while Kat reboots her brain, what's your favorite Christmas gift ever?
Favorite Christmas gift I ever got would probably... I'll do one from when I was a kid and one from recent memory. When I was a kid, I remember getting my first television, which was, I think, like a 32-inch tube TV, which was fantastic. It means I could play my Super Nintendo, my Nintendo in my room. I got a VCR. But that wasn't my present. My parents gave me the TV before Christmas, and then they filled the television box with Ninja Turtles. All 1990s era Playmates Ninja Turtles. So from about 1989 to probably about 1992, it was filled to the brim with Ninja Turtles in package. And I was stunned at how much stuff I got. And I had so much fun that Christmas morning. It's probably the most cool thing I ever got for Christmas as a child. Later on, and this will actually be relevant to you, Gonzo, that Halo 3 helmet that you bought off me was one of the first Christmas presents Blair ever bought me. So that morning, because that was the first Christmas me and Blair were ever together, was the Christmas of 2007. First time I spent my family apart from my family. My grandparents had kicked me out of the house for the last time. I never went home again after it. And it was a pretty miserable Christmas. And I'd had my eye on the Halo 3 Legendary Edition, or the cat helmet, for some time, and they were always sold out. They were difficult to find. And Blair surprised me that Christmas morning with the cat helmet, and it was a treasured piece of me and her until circumstances dictated otherwise. Yeah, it's just one of the most memorable Christmas presents she's ever gotten me, because we sat down, we watched the making of documentary from it, and yeah, it was pretty cool. I remember that morning we opened it, watched the documentary, and I think we watched a Bare Naked Ladies Christmas or something with it as well, which is a Canadian music group. But yeah, it's just so there you go. Those are two memorable moments.
Okay. For me, favorite Christmas present ever. Oh, geez. This is a toughie. I think I would have to say that my favorite Christmas present that I got as a kid was 1999, the year the Star Wars, 1997, I think, was when the Star Wars special editions came out. And of course, there's that whole merchandising blitz. And my mom got me for Christmas a lightsaber, a toy lightsaber, a toy version of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi, with the telescoping blade, and you turn it on, it made the noises and sound effects. And my best friend got one of Darth Vader's lightsaber, so we were having like lightsaber fights, throughout all Christmas break. So, beat the hell out of these lightsabers because they're really not designed to be used for dueling and fighting. But yeah, I would say that was probably one of my favorite Christmas gifts as a child was that toy lightsaber. And then another one from when I was an adult. This is one that my little brother surprised me with. So do you remember, Mike, way back in the 90s, the Micro Machines Star Wars Action Fleet series?
Yes, I actually am a huge fan of that line. I think they're fantastic. I actually have one literally right in front of me. I have Luke's X-Wing still.
Yeah, well, a couple years ago for Christmas, he surprised me with 2 of those X-Wings. With the not the basic one, the one that came with the I'd have to look at the package, which is on the other side of the house, and I don't have it in front of me. But it was the one that came with like the flight stick that shot missiles and had the sound effects.
Same one I got.
He got me one to open up and put on display, and one to keep sealed. So I've actually got the X-Wing sitting in my new glass display case. I'd say that's probably my favorite Christmas gift as an adult. All right, Kat. The stay of execution has ended, so now it's your turn. Favorite Christmas gift you've ever gotten?
I can't remember. Okay, so I can honestly say that I think over the course of my years that I've probably gotten better birthday presents than Christmas presents, because I'm sitting here going through, remember that time I got, nope, that was my birthday. No, I can't fucking remember. The only thing that really comes to mind was the year that my dad bought me the very, very expensive box sets of the anime Natsume's Book of Friends, which is it's a great show, but it has these really gorgeous, and very expensive box sets. And it was the only way they were released. You couldn't buy the full series in like a normal DVD set or a normal Blu-ray set. They only, I think the first season came in like a normal box set, and then subsequent seasons were only released in these like super deluxe box sets.
The Aniplex model.
Yeah, it's either NIS or Aniplex. It's one of those two. And I just remember later my dad going, man, anime is expensive. And I'm like, please tell me something I didn't already know. But that's like the last thing I can remember where I'm just like really super impressed with like a Christmas gift that was just really, really memorable. Because I have a tendency to care more about, for Christmas gifts, I care more about like making sure that I have curated the perfect gift for somebody. And then, like, I have all this hype for what I'm giving other people so that when I get something, it's just sort of like, it's okay. Like, my parents literally went down my Amazon list last year and bought me all the shit that I wanted on my Amazon list. So I guess that was pretty cool because it was literally just a bunch of stuff on my Amazon list, and some of it was actually practical. But I did get those really big Game of Thrones cups that you could probably fend off a murderer with because they're so heavy.
All right. Okay. Well, that is all the Ask a Geek questions that we have for this week. Thank you, as always, for sending them in. As always, you can send them to us through the email at drgonzo@nerdofthethirdpower.com. We love getting your questions, love reading them on the air, so go ahead and get your questions in, and you just might get yours read on the show. And all right, for our final episode of 2020, or our holiday episode, I shouldn't really say we, but Kat put forward this idea that we should pitch our own Hallmark Christmas movies. So, Kat, where did this idea come from? How did this idea come to you? Because you're the one who suggested this.
Right. So I came up with a suggestion right when we were talking about our Halloween episode of Pitch Your Own Horror Franchise, or whatever it was that we talked about way back then. And I thought, man, we could do something like that for Christmas. And what better to pitch than a awful Hallmark film? Because let's face it, I don't think any of the three of us are people who watch Hallmark films.
That's what you think.
Do you? Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I had no idea.
Mike, are you about to tell me that you did research for this topic?
Okay, so I may have been wrong about the idea that none of us are the type of people, but everybody knows, even if you don't watch them, which I don't, everybody knows what goes into a Hallmark film because they're all basically variations on a theme. It's all the basic same concept over and over with the same blonde-haired packaging. So I thought it would be fun if we all came up with our own films because knowing us, we'll find some interesting way to twist it or make it interesting or be silly with it or whatever it is that we're going to do. If it ends with aliens on Birdmans, then I would not be surprised. So that's where the idea came from, just following what we did earlier in the year with other things, but now we do it for a cheesy Hallmark film.
All right. Well, since this was your idea, you're the first one up against the wall. So go ahead and read off your pitch.
Okay, so I have to insist that everyone keep your microphones turned on because if you laugh during this, I insist that I hear it. Okay. So what I did was I went online and found a Mad Libs. And the Mad Libs that I found were not that great. So I added more to them. The Mad Libs I took was from the Miami Herald. So if you want to find that, just search Miami Herald Hallmark movie Mad Libs. And then I rewrote a good chunk of it so that it would be longer. And then I asked my friends, who I was on a voice chat with, to give me all of the blanks so that I wasn't making it so that whatever happened wasn't on me, this was on my friends. So what I got was a really, really ridiculous pitch for a Hallmark film. And now I will read it for you, and I think you can figure out where the Mad Lib blanks were. So, here is my Hallmark movie pitch. Rocketeering for Christmas. Our movie's beautiful leading lady, Holly, is portrayed by Hilary Duff. She is an up-and-coming executive at a Manhattan company that sells Christmas plungers. Despite her name and vocation, Holly does not like Christmas. Shortly before the holiday, there is a crisis involving production at the factory in the rural town of Shiny Elves, where Holly is coincidentally from. The company's boss chooses Holly instead of her workplace rival Ivy to solve the problem before Christmas Eve. Not looking forward to going home and disappointed she must skip her vacation in Phuket with her fiancé, Brock, she begrudgingly takes on the task. Her fiancé, played by John Stamos, is a vice president at their company and has been engaged to Holly for 69 years. At first glance, he seems perfect for her, but Holly is secretly worried that after twerking him, she won't get promoted again without it looking like favoritism. Duty-bound, our heroine rushes to the small town, arriving during the annual Christmas parade, which features Santa and his trusty red-nosed giraffe, Rudolph. In her haste to get...
giraffe.
Right? In her haste to get to the town, however, Holly forgot to pack extra socks. What she's wearing is ruined when two parade spectators spill kumquat on her as she bumps into a handsome man wearing the most festive waistcoat she's ever seen. Holly recognizes the small-town hunk as her childhood neighbor Nick, portrayed by Robert Pattinson, who lends her an overly festive pair of socks to replace her ruined ones. Despite herself, Holly finds she has undeniable chemistry with Nick. She can't stop gazing into his puce eyes. Nick runs a local Christmas marijuana farm and loves the holiday season. Although tempted by his rustic charm and beat-up old turquoise truck, she resists acting on her feelings because she's still engaged. While disappointed that his advances are repeatedly shot down, Nick helps Holly solve the factory's production crisis just minutes before the end of Christmas Eve. In the process, Holly and Nick discover that the factory was sabotaged by Brock, who has been secretly planning to move production to Forks, Washington, and seize control of the company. Heroine Holly phones him and discovers he's at a vacation resort in far-off Phuket with office rival Ivy. Angered and hurt, she calls off the engagement. When he starts to argue, the resort's waitstaff accidentally drops 300 gallons of apple tea on the cad and his secret girlfriend. With the crisis averted, Holly is informed by the company president that she is getting a promotion, and it's time for her to return to work in the big city with not a moment to lose, which will cause her to miss the town's big Christmas Day party. The next morning, she prepares to bid farewell to her small town friends and family when she is confronted by Nick, who asks one last time why she hates Christmas so much. Holly responds that when she was young, she only ever wanted a crimson slinky, which Santa never brought her, and it has disillusioned her forever. As if by magic, Nick presents her with the exact present she always wanted, and also an engagement ring asking her to stay. She takes both and dabs him on the lips as snow begins to suck and the Christmas church bells start to bite. We see a brief scene of the couple a year later having started their own local Christmas store selling towels and spatulas. They are surrounded by friends and family drinking warm spiced pineapple juice and putting chairs on presents, proving that Holly has finally found the Christmas spirit.
Okay.
So, thank you to all of my friends who wrote this story for me because that was fucking ridiculous. And also to one of my friends who specifically made a Photoshop, which maybe we can drop in somewhere.
That's got to be the artwork of this episode.
It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, that's my Hallmark movie pitch, brought to you by Phil and the gang. You know who you are, you bastards.
Okay. Well. What is there to say?
I think I am on board with Christmas giraffe rampaging through a town.
I want that so badly. I think a Christmas giraffe is like the best idea.
And it has to be voiced by somebody vastly inappropriate. Like, I don't know. Fucking Baba Booey. Fuck, I don't know. Just go. That's what I picture all giraffes sound like, by the way, now.
Christmas giraffe.
Okay.
So that is my Hallmark movie pitch. I now need to hear something more ridiculous than that.
Well, I've got
next?
mine, and it's not necessarily as long as yours, but it is also Mad Libs. Which, funny sidebar, before we recorded this episode, and we were talking about what we're recording, I didn't know what Kat was doing for hers, so I happened to mention that I'd done a Mad Libs with some friends, and she just let out the most anguished shout of no I'd ever heard in my life. So,
I thought I was being clever, and it turns out I was just doing what everyone else was doing. I was just doing the normal thing, which is to just do a Mad Libs.
So anyway, here is mine. It is not nearly as long or in depth as Kat's is, but you can chalk that up to the fact that it was just me and one other buddy that were putting this together. So I don't have a title, but here maybe you guys can come up with something. But here's the pitch that we came up with. So a 23-year-old porn studio casting director living in LA decides to spend Christmas with her family in Lizard Lick, North Carolina. That is a real town, by the way. Go ahead and Google it. Following the sudden death of her Uncle Frank in a tragic butter churning accident. Traveling with her is her friend with benefits Chad, who works as a fluffer in the same studio, and her best friend Lisa, a hipster barista who is obsessed with faded jeans. While in her hometown, she clashes with her old school family, decrying once-loved family traditions like Christmas carols and shaving the family dog. She also meets her old high school sweetheart, Jaker Slackjaw, who makes his living as a porta-john cleaner. She winds up falling in love with him again due to his simple, down-home charms and his passion for sausage casings. She is, however, embarrassed by this as she is afraid that her LA friends will discover his night job stroking pigs in a clown rodeo. However, the spirit of the holiday comes over her, and after a talk with the ghost of Michael Caine, she overcomes her city-bred prejudice, breaks up with Chad, and moves back home where she marries Jakers, and the pair of them start a successful business of selling greased sausage casings. The lead will be played by Kathy Griffin, the LA boyfriend will be played by zombie Cesar Romero, the hometown sweetheart will be played by that guy from Letterkenny, and the special guest star will be Eddie Izzard. The film will be dedicated to the memory of George Michael's career.
So he jerks off pigs for a living. Wonderful.
I don't know if that's what he meant. I was afraid to ask. I don't know if he's actually working them downstairs or if he's just petting them lovingly as one would a household cat, but
I don't know. I was going to say something really gross, but it's a different kind of white Christmas.
And jerking off pigs isn't?
No, Christmas, here's a big spunk.
This took a turn to exactly where you think it'd go.
So yes, thoughts and comments?
Oh my god.
I'm in it for the white Christmas song. It's going to be so good. So great.
Oh my god.
And you have to have every extra in this movie has to work in the porn industry. Every single extra.
The mall Santa will be played by Ron Jeremy.
No, he's evil now. He's bad. But Peter North's okay, I think. Who else? Man, you could have so much fun with this too, because a lot of porn stars have a really funny sense of humor. Yeah, this could actually be really funny and would oddly work. You could pitch this. Hey, Pornhub, you got some money lying around?
This was not meant to be a porn film. This was. But the thing is, I had to do this Mad Libs because I couldn't come because I had to confess I did some research too, and I couldn't come up with any permutation for a Hallmark Christmas film that hadn't already been done. I swear to God, the only thing that's more cookie cutter than Hallmark Christmas movies are Call of Duty games.
Them's fighting words.
Well, maybe Birdman here will surprise us with whatever he came up with. Maybe he has cracked the code to not do a Mad Libs.
Okay, so this is breaking news, making it up on the spot, but I have kind of an idea.
Excellent.
I love to think in the moment, think fast, think quick. Let's see what I can do given a few seconds. Let's rock and roll. Okay, so the title of this movie is An Arkham County Christmas. Produced by Lloyd Kaufman. So, we open up on our character of Lacey, played by Lacey Chalbert of Party of Five fame, and always on the W Network. So, she is a small-town librarian who has fallen in love with a certain doctor at her university, Miskatonic University, you might say. And she wants to introduce her family to someone who she believes can perhaps help them with a unique problem that they have. Unfortunately, most of Lacey's family has passed away due to illness, or, they're just not around for the holidays. They don't share the holiday spirit. But Lacey and her older professor boyfriend, one Dr. Herbert West, have discovered something in the Miskatonic Library that could potentially help them bring a little bit of Christmas to their Arkham, their Arkham County farmhouse, and that is a little known tome as the Necronomicon. So they decide late one night under the cover of darkness and while snow is still falling across the Arkham landscape to break into the sacred library and begin a ritual which does involve invoking the spirit of Santa Claus, but unfortunately due to some mispronunciations in Unspeakable Cultin, which is yet another mythos book, they summon something equivalent to the Krampus, which runs wild across the Arkham County. And in addition to raising this mischievous creature from beyond the stars, they happen to resurrect half of her family. So while one part of this adventure is trying to put her family back in the ground while having one last Christmas before they have to send them back to hell, they also have to deal with a monster that's going around killing people. Starring in this wonderful adventure, reprising his role from the Reanimators movies, is star actor and Weyoun from Star Trek DS9, Jeffrey Combs as Dr. Herbert West, and I think the kindly old grandfather. Because I love this guy's acting, I would like to cast David Warner, and as the town crazy bum, I'm casting good old Uncle Lloyd from Troma Films himself, Lloyd Kaufman. Also, rounding out this cast, I would like Carrot Top as probably a hospital orderly, because, he does prop comedy. And let me see, who else can I stick into this? And just because he seems to do things for the W Network whenever he needs money, Mario Lopez is in this movie as the Colonel Sanders character for no particular reason.
No, why? Why?
I love how his new movie is called Recipe for Seduction, and it's an actual fucking movie. So, hey, if they can get Mario Lopez, I want Mario Lopez. So, that is my movie in about a minute and a half or less. It's a Christmas comedy with Cthulhu, with the Cthulhu mythos as the overhanging plot. Yeah, Lovecraft County Christmas, basically.
So this will air on the Hallmark Channel after midnight, is what I took away from it.
Oh yes, and you won't know that it's a Cthulhu movie up until they break into the Arkham Library and steal the Necronomicon. So it's going to play it completely straight until you start hearing some of those names.
Okay, so thoughts. First off, can we talk about how the fact that me and Kat both did our work ahead of time, and Mike made up his on the spot, and he still put in more effort and creativity into his pitch than either of us?
Hey.
I know my audience, stupid people.
Secondly, my one suggestion for this pitch is you have to have the music done by the Dagon Tabernacle Choir, because they did a little show called A Very Scary Solstice, which was all Christmas carols with an H.P. Lovecraft twist.
I love it. I'm in.
Their version of the Hallelujah Chorus, O Cthulhu, is a personal favorite of mine. And fun fact, it's actually musically accurate to Handel's original score. I know that because I was in a choir in high school and had to actually sing the Hallelujah Chorus at a cantata. So I sung the bass line and can still do so today on command. So, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and give Mike the award for most creative, because he actually managed to find a way to make something that not only breaks the cookie cutter mold of these films, but actually made something that I would be interested in sitting down and watching.
Yeah,
this could be fun.
That would be so good. I want to watch this. But definitely it would have, if this is to be a true Hallmark movie, it would have to air after midnight, when like all the women who would normally watch Hallmark movies are too wine drunk to stay awake anymore, and then have fallen asleep on the couch or something, and then they wake up and then they're suddenly like Cthulhu.
Monsters.
Yeah.
Now, for special fun, this movie has to be all practical effects and has to be done on a Hallmark movie budget. So you are going to get paper mache Cthulhu played completely straight.
Yeah.
It will be ridiculous.
I approve of this. That sounds great.
All right. So that's my award presentation. Mike, what's yours?
I like cats. I gotta be honest. Christmas giraffe running through the cloud through a Christmas plunger factory, and oh my god! So as a special cameo in your movie, half your budget's going to get kind of dedicated to this because he needs to be extradited back to the United States. You're getting Randy Quaid to reprise his character as Cousin Eddie, just so he can say "shitter's full."
Yeah, there was in the original Mad Libs. It was like, pick a 90s movie dad to play Santa, but since I was already making it so long, I didn't want to make it any longer. But that would be the perfect person for Santa, is get Randy Quaid there as like bad Santa, riding in on a fucking red-nosed giraffe.
Oh my god, it could be so great. Like, he's wearing the fucking bathrobe, that fucking Russian hat thing going, it'd be wonderful.
Next to the Christmas marijuana farm. This is what my friend suggested. I knew what I was getting into, but my stars. And if we could, so I sent you guys the picture that my friend photoshopped while we were making this.
Can somebody just put Randy Quaid on a giraffe running around? This could be amazing. Waving a plunger. This could be great. And let's send it to him on Twitter, because he will respond.
And he'll be like, what the fuck, people? What the fuck?
Randy, we're handing you the role of a lifetime.
Please. Somebody make this film.
GoFundMe. Call us.
We've got a script.
I can't
don't.
find a
Please
picture of
don't.
Randy Quaid riding a giraffe, but I found a picture of a giraffe riding a great white shark.
We're halfway
Well,
there.
that would be the level of we've jumped the shark by putting Randy Quaid in it. So I'm on board.
The giraffe is wielding a cutlass and wearing an eye patch. And it's on a shower curtain.
Oh, that's nice.
My next door neighbor has a bear on a surfboard wielding a M60.
Putting the train back on the
Tracks.
very damaged
Absolutely
tracks.
destroyed tracks. Gonzo, I will give your pitch the one that I think most likely would actually get people to watch it because you put the word porn in it. Your Mad Libs had the word porn in it, and that will automatically get people to watch it.
You would be the first successful crossover between Pornhub and the Lifetime Network. Markets that need servicing. I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure that that's one of the signs of the end that's written of in Revelation.
Oh my stars! This whole episode has gone exactly how I knew it would go.
Oh boy. Okay. So yeah, that was Well, we definitely got some creative pitches here. Certainly more creative than anything Hallmark has ever put out. So yeah. All right. So okay, but that's all the time that we have for Nerd to the Third Power this week, and that caps off our 2020 season. Thank you, as always, for listening in. We love having you guys, love entertaining you guys, and we will be back in 2021. Don't forget, starting the week after Christmas and running through our holiday break, you are going to get Fools Who Ride every week. So look forward to that, and we will see you guys in 2021. So, happy holidays. We hope you guys have a happy new year. May the new year be a damn sight better than the old one, to quote Harry Morgan. And so with that, as always, I'm Dr. Gonzo.
I'm the cat, and I have a copy of my Mad Libs. If you want it, I can send it to you.
It's Christmas at Ground Zero. I'm the Birdman.
All right, we'll see you guys in 2021. Taka, play us out.